In this lesson, I'm going to introduce you to the first 4 engines that you can use to generate good business ideas that have the potential to become successful businesses. Remember, even if you already have one or several business ideas you're excited about, the insights you get from this lesson and the ones that come afterward will give you a lot of clarity and confidence. The 4 idea engines I'll be showing you in this lesson are fixers, waves, authority, and the CPL method. I will now explain each of these engines so you understand how they work and how they can help you discover interesting and viable business ideas. Let's start with the fixers. Fixers are business ideas that solve or fix problems that people are willing to pay for. Now, problems are everywhere in human society, and if you look around and pay more attention, you will find a lot of interesting problems. Problems cause pain, they cause frustration, embarrassment, stress, inconvenience, unhappiness, loss, and a wide range of negative feelings. And this is exactly why problems are a breeding ground for good business ideas, because people have a strong motivation to solve their problems. And if you have a product or service that can solve a serious problem, you're very likely to make money because people will buy. And the more painful, the more serious, the more annoying, frustrating, or embarrassing the problem you're trying to solve, the more likely people will be willing to pay for your solution. So let me share a few interesting examples of fixers in action. In 2012, Tristan Walker launched the Bevel shaving razor that helps to reduce and prevent irritation and razor bumps, especially for black men and men with sensitive skin. If you've had razor bumps or irritation before, you would know that it's quite a frustrating and embarrassing problem. But by providing a razor that solves the irritation and razor bump problem, this entrepreneur was able to start and build a successful business that raised more than $33 million from investors. And in 2018, just about 6 years after he started the business, Walker's company and its range of products was acquired by Procter & Gamble, P&G, one of the world's biggest multinational companies. Another interesting example of a fixer is wakanow.com, which is one of the first online airline travel booking services in Nigeria. So Obinna Ekezie founded the company in 2008 after he experienced how difficult, frustrating, and untransparent it was to buy air travel tickets through local travel agents. So to fix the problem, he launched Wakanow, which is an online platform that allows travelers to compare ticket prices for different airlines and hotels and conveniently make payments online, buy their tickets online rather than rely on local travel agents, thereby saving time and money. So since launching the service, Wakanow has completed more than 700,000 travel bookings for clients as at the time of recording this video. And in 2018, the company received a $40 million investment from the Carlyle Group, one of the world's biggest private equity investment firms. So, of course, there are hundreds of examples of successful companies that were built out of fixing difficult problems, but these are just a few. But before I go ahead, let me share a few upsides and downsides of using the fixer engine to generate good business ideas. The first upside is that problems are a strong motivator for spending money. When people have serious problems, they are likely to want to spend money on a solution. The second upside of the fixer engine is that the bigger the problem, the bigger the potential to make money from a solution. The more challenging, the more frustrating, painful, or embarrassing a problem is, the more likely people will want to spend money on solving it. In terms of downsides, one downside is that you might end up trying to solve a problem that people don't care about or don't even know exists. If people don't feel the pain and frustration of a problem, it's unlikely they'll be motivated enough to spend money on it. A second downside is that some problems may have several different solutions. So to succeed with the fixer strategy, you need to make sure you have the best or most effective solution to the problem, and that solution is coming at a price that makes sense to the customer. So to generate good business ideas using the fixer strategy, you get a sheet of paper or open a Word document on your computer and create 2 columns. On the left side, make a list of the most frustrating, embarrassing, challenging, painful, or difficult problems you've noticed around you. They could be problems you have personally experienced at home, at work, or in your personal life. They could be problems you've seen or heard other people complain about. They could be problems that affect individuals, households, groups, organizations, or even the government. Everybody has problems. You just need to pay attention and figure out serious problems that affect any of these groups. And in the right column, write down at least 2 or 3 possible solutions for each problem you identify. Remember, this is the creativity stage, so don't overanalyze or second guess your ideas, no matter how unreasonable or foolish they may seem to you. Just put everything down on paper for now. In the advanced program that comes after this course, I'll show you how to filter and sieve your ideas to select the best candidates. For now, all you have to do is let the ideas flow out of your head onto the paper or onto the screen in front of you. The next idea engine I'll show you are waves. So, waves are business ideas that are built on major trends around the world that are changing, disrupting, or rejuvenating the old way of doing things. Or waves could also be major trends that are introducing totally new opportunities and industries. So, some of the biggest waves and major trends in the world today are drones, artificial intelligence, blockchain, solar and renewable energy, space travel, crowdsourcing, insect farming, Internet of Things, recycling, climate change intervention, and several other waves that I can cover here, because every single month these days there's a new wave, there's a new technology, there's a new disruption coming up. Now, there are 2 ways you can benefit from a wave. The first way is to directly exploit the wave by creating a commercially viable product or service that targets customers or players in that industry. And the second way to benefit from a wave is to indirectly exploit the wave by providing information products or training services to people or organizations who are interested in the wave or are interested in understanding the wave because of the way it's going to impact their life or their business. So, let me share a few examples and success stories that show how some entrepreneurs are using waves to build interesting businesses. AgriProtein is an insect farming business that started in South Africa in 2008. It's one of only a handful of companies in the world that are exploiting the wave of insect protein. So you see, due to the combined effects of rapid population growth, climate change, and falling stocks of fish in the world's oceans, insect protein is expected to play a bigger role in the food value chain of the future. So to exploit the insect wave, AgriProtein breeds millions of flies on its farms to produce maggots that are converted into products that substitute protein content like fish meal in animal feed for poultry, pigs, and even fish. In 2018, AgriProtein raised over $100 million from investors to expand its insect and maggot farms to Europe, North America, and Asia. Another interesting wave and major trend is solar power. Solar and renewable energy in general will be one of the biggest waves of the next 30 years. That's because there are more than 2 billion people around the world, most of them in sub-Saharan Africa, who still don't have access to stable electricity. On top of that, the effects of climate change mean that the world needs more eco-friendly and renewable energy options. This is why solar power is one of the fastest growing industries in the world, with dozens of solar power businesses in Africa alone. So many of these Africa-focused solar companies like Zola Electric, M-Copper, and others have raised millions of dollars of funding from investors. And the solar and renewable industry is one of the fastest growing industry, even in terms of the kind of returns it provides to investors, which of course explains the rush why investors want a piece of the action, especially in places like sub-Saharan Africa, where the need for reliable energy is highest. Now, one other interesting wave is crowdsourcing. Now, crowdsourcing is a smart strategy for getting resources like capital from a large group of people. Crowdfunding businesses like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Patreon, crowdfunder, and several others help thousands of people around the world raise billions of dollars every year. And across Africa, the crowdfunding innovation has been successfully applied to agriculture. It's called crowd farming, where lots of people contribute capital and then invest in agricultural projects. And then when the produce is sold, all the investors share the money. So businesses like Crowdfundi and Thrive Agric in Nigeria, AgriCab in Somalia, and Livestock Wealth in South Africa use crowdsourcing to raise investments for different farming projects. So when it comes to waves, let's look at a few upsides and downsides. One upside is that waves are long-term trends that are likely to create multiple business opportunities over a long time. Another upside is that waves generate a lot of interest and people will be curious to learn about, use, or buy trendy stuff. And like I mentioned earlier, you can directly benefit from a wave by creating a relevant product or service that you can sell, or you can indirectly benefit from a wave by selling information products or training services to people who are interested and trying to exploit the wave. In terms of downsides, one downside is that you could mistake a fad, a short-term craze, or a pop or fashion trend for a wave. Now, a lot of fads and fashion trends are very short-term in nature, and the opportunities they present may not last for very long. A second downside is that timing is important when it comes to waves, because you can be too early or too late to a wave. For example, Webvan was an online retailer that existed before Amazon, but it was too early in the e-commerce wave in the US. Also, Nokia was too late to the smartphone wave, even though it was a leader in the mobile phone hardware industry. So you need to make sure you get your timing right if you plan to ride a wave or a major trend. If you're too early, you could lose, and if you're too late, you could lose. So that's why timing is really important. So to generate good business ideas using the wave strategy, as usual, get a piece of paper or open a Word document on your computer and create 2 columns. On the left side, make a list of the waves or mega trends you've noticed around you. And in the right column, think of valuable products, services, or information you can create that can solve a problem or meet a need that individuals, households, or organizations already have. Remember, this is the creative stage, so go ahead and brainstorm and write down as many ideas that come to you, no matter how stupid or unreasonable they may seem. And inside the advanced program that comes after this intro course, I'll show you how to select the best candidates from your pool of business ideas. The third idea engine I'll talk about is authority. Now, this engine is about generating business ideas from your knowledge, your skills, experiences, passions, hobbies, or interests. If you know something, or you know how to do something, or you have a unique, interesting, refreshing, counterintuitive, new or compelling perspective on any area of work or life, you could have several opportunities to make money from them. The most common ways to build a business out of authority include information products like books, reports and manuals, training courses, seminars and workshops, consulting services, hosting events, hosting a website, hosting a TV show, or creating a social media channel. Now, let's look at a few interesting examples. Cesar Milian Favela should be familiar to anyone who watches cable TV. Now, he is a Mexican-American dog trainer who transformed his knowledge, skills, experience, and passion for dogs into a successful business. He is widely known for his Emmy-nominated TV series, The Dog Whisperer with Cesar Milian, which has been broadcast in more than 80 countries worldwide. Cesar Milian is a successful entrepreneur, and he has also written more than 8 books on dog training and has strong social media presence, especially on YouTube. He gets endorsements from pet companies that are either providing dog food or accessories or pet equipment and things like that. So this is one example of a guy who used his innate knowledge and skills and passion for animals, especially dogs, and he has built it into a successful business with several interesting revenue streams. One other interesting example is Tiffany Alicia. Now, Tiffany is a former school teacher who taught preschool for 10 years. Today, she has positioned herself as one of the top personal finance experts for women. Known as the Budgetnista, Tiffany teaches women, specifically women, how to save more money, get out of debt, purchase their own homes, and transform how they think about their personal finances. Now, even though she doesn't have an advanced degree in finance, Tiffany has used her personal life experiences and struggles with money to become an expert in personal finance. Now, she's highly regarded by more than 500,000 women across the world who follow her and have taken her courses and her programs. She is now a published author on personal finance. She speaks in major conferences and runs an online academy that teaches personal finance skills to thousands of women and brings in thousands of dollars in revenue every month. One other interesting example is Tucker Max. Now, Tucker Max is the guy who transformed his life experiences as a wayward bad boy, heavy alcoholic, and womanizer into a lucrative business. He is a public speaker and has written several books, which include 2 New York Times best-selling books that have sold more than 2 million copies around the world. As you can see, there's money to be made from both good and bad life experiences if you can package your knowledge, your skills, and perspectives into products that people will want to buy. And the truth is, no matter the experience you've gone through in life, good or bad, there are people who are going through the same thing and need perspective, they need direction, they need to hear from somebody else who's gone through something like that. And that's exactly what makes you an authority, because it's your own life experience, it's your knowledge, it's your perspective. So when it comes to using authority as an idea engine, here are a few upsides and downsides to look out for. One upside is that authority-based businesses are less capital intensive because most of the resources you need are the knowledge, skills, and passions you already have. Another upside is that you don't always have to be an expert with academic degrees or high-sounding titles to be an authority on any subject. None of the people in the examples and success story that I just shared with you have any advanced degrees in their areas of authority. It's always up to the market and always up to the customers to decide whose authority is worth paying for. Somebody might have a PhD in finance, but customers really cannot relate to them. But then somebody else has gone through financial struggle, maybe gone through debt, was broke and came out of it. That's a really interesting experience that people will want to find out. They want to listen to you. So if you have courses, programs, you can really help people because what they're saying is you've been there before. So I trust you more because you know what you're talking about compared to somebody who just has an advanced degree. The guy with the advanced degree might be the expert, but you're the authority because you've gone through it before. So in terms of downsides, building a business from authority can take time because of the need to cultivate a following, because of the need to carve a niche for yourself, and because of the need to establish yourself as an authority. Another downside is that an authority-based business is usually built around the entrepreneur, who is often the face of the business. And unless you create systems to help you run the business will always may sometimes feel like a job, and you will always bear the full burden of the business because you are the authority, you're the face of the business, and it's likely most customers will want to deal with you directly. For small numbers of customers, that may be possible, but as your business starts to grow, you cannot be everywhere and you cannot directly help everybody. So you need to build systems to help you scale that business. If not, you will end up having a small business if it's an authority-based business. So to generate business ideas using the authority engine, get a sheet of paper or open a Word document on your computer and create 2 columns. On the left side, make a list of the skills and knowledge that you have and you're very passionate about. Think about topics, subjects, issues, past experiences, or areas of your life that you're interested in or passionate about. And in the other column, write down possible products, services, or revenue streams you can create from the items in the first column. Remember, you don't necessarily have to be an expert to become an authority on a subject. You just need to be passionate, knowledgeable, and confident enough to share what you know. And the next idea engine I'll talk to you about in this lesson is the CPL method. Now you need to pay close attention to this because this is quite interesting. CPL is an acronym I coined that stands for copy, paste, and localize. And you're going to understand why this acronym is really interesting. There are hundreds of good business ideas, products, and services that are already successful in other parts of the world. There are products and services that are already successful in other cities, other countries, other industries outside your own. Now, with the CPL method, all you have to do is look for successful businesses, look for products that are already successful, look for services that are already successful or have the potential to do well, or maybe they're just about to hit success, but you can see that this thing has potential if you can tweak it a bit, So the interesting thing about the CPL method is that most of the products and services you should be looking for are likely to be outside your market. And then the goal is to copy these products and then adapt and localize them to fit the tastes, the preferences, and expectations of your market. So it's to copy, paste, and localize. Now, let me share a few examples of successful businesses that have used the CPL method to great effect. The first example is Red Bull, the famous energy drink that sells billions of volumes every year. Now, most people think Red Bull is a European or American product, but the drink actually originates from Thailand. Now, originally known as Krating Dang, the local drink was initially developed as an energy boosting medicine. It was actually a medicine, and it was sold in medicine bottles. Then in 1987, a European traveler, an entrepreneur from Austria, partnered with the owner of the drink in Thailand to launch it in Europe. Now, to appeal to the European market, the name of the drink was changed to Red Bull. Since of course in Europe the Thai name would have not resonated in Europe, so the name was localized to be more familiar to the European market. So the name was changed to Red Bull, and the packaging was also changed, from the original medicine bottles to the sleek looking silver and blue cans. The drink was also carbonated to improve its taste and appeal to young partygoers across Europe. So from a local and largely unknown drink, from a local and unknown medicine in Thailand, Red Bull was successfully copied, pasted, and localized in Europe, and now sells more than 6 billion cans every year across 170 countries in the world. Another interesting example is the growing number of businesses that have successfully copied and localized the Uber business model. So, as you know, Uber was one of the first major players in the app-based ride-sharing business. But in developing countries of the world, like in cities and towns across Africa, motorcycles are a more effective mode of transport than cars, and that's due to the poor road networks, the traffic congestion, and the bad roads. So, in countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, Uganda, and a couple of others, motorcycle-style app services like Max, SafeBoda, GoCada, O-Ride, and several others have successfully copied and localized the Uber model, and many of them have raised millions of dollars from investors. So it's still the same Uber model, but then, yes, maybe Uber may be based on cars in developed countries where the road networks are great, and a lot of the road management is great. But then in developing countries, motorcycles are more practical and more effective. And what these entrepreneurs have done is they have copied the Uber model to the motorcycle business. That's exactly what the CPL method is all about. So let's now look at some upsides and downsides of using the CPL method to generate good business ideas. In terms of upsides, one upside is that your business idea will be based on a proven business, product, or service that already works in another market. And if it's already working somewhere else, there's a good chance it can work in your market if you localize the product to meet the needs, the tastes, and the preferences of your market. Another upside is that by localizing the product or service to suit your target market, you could create unique qualities that could improve or complement the original business and give you a strong competitive advantage. For example, by carbonating the original drink, Red Bull created a unique fizzy taste that helped to boost the popularity of the drink in Europe. Now, in terms of downsides, one downside is that you could run legal or regulatory risks or face civil or criminal lawsuits for theft or infringement on the rights of the business you are copying. Therefore, You need to be careful to avoid any legal troubles as you copy another product, idea, or service. You have to copy creatively without infringing on the intellectual property of the owner of the original product or business. So it's important that you understand that this risk is always there. Another downside is that you may just be one of several different people or copycats who are copying the same business idea. In the end, the person who wins will be the person who can copy intelligently and best localize the idea to meet the needs, tastes, and preferences of the local market. So, to generate good business ideas using the CPL method, get a sheet of paper or open a Word document on your computer and create 2 columns. On the left side, make a list of successful business ideas, products or services that have caught your attention but are not yet in your city, country, or industry. You may have noticed this products on TV, in magazines, on the internet, or during a travel overseas. And on the right side, think of smart and interesting ways you can copy and localize those ideas to suit your market. So, in this lesson, I introduced you to 4 important idea engines. They are the Fixers, Waves, Authority, and the CPL method. These are just 4 out of 11 engines, and we still have 7 more to go in the upcoming lessons. If you follow the steps in this lesson, you will surely have a list of interesting business ideas that you're excited and passionate about. In the next lesson, I'll be introducing you to 4 other idea engines. They are the Storm Chasers, the Piggy Bank, Nurses, and Platforms. If you want to know what these strategies are and how to use them to generate good business ideas, you don't want to miss the next lesson. But before I end this lesson, I need you to do something. Head over to the comment section below this video and tell me which of the 4 idea engines in this lesson you plan to use and why. If your comment is interesting enough, I could pitch in and give you some feedback. Also, more importantly, I need you to do somebody a favor. Use the social media buttons below this video to share this important lesson with your friends, your family, and people you care about. A lot of people out there want to become entrepreneurs but have no clue about how to generate good business ideas. And some of them may end up chasing bad business ideas and lose money, time, and precious relationships. So please share this lesson with everybody you know, and I'm sure they'll be grateful to you forever. See you in the next lesson. Cheers.